Okay, good Thursday morning. It is March 5th, 2026, and you're listening to the PNW Today radio program streaming on WJOB 1230 AM, as well as being produced on WJOB and JED TV podcasts. My name is Keel Wilk. I serve as a media and communication specialist with Purdue University Northwest Office of Marketing and Communications, and we have a great lineup for our program topics today. To start out, we are going to be talking about student research opportunities and our upcoming Days of Discovery program. So to help talk about student research opportunities, to my immediate left, we have student Kate Kilmer, who is an electrical engineering major at PNW. Kate, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And also to our left, somebody who's no stranger to the PNW Today program, Dr. Michael Zimmer, who is our faculty fellow for undergraduate research and an associate professor of biological sciences. Dr. Zimmer, thank you so much for joining us early on this morning.
Happy to be here, Kale. Thanks for the invitation.
Excellent. Well, before we dive into our main topic here, let me just go ahead and give a rundown of a few upcoming events that we want our audiences to be able to know about. So if there is anyone, if you're a parent or a prospective student, and you have the big questions on your mind about how to plan for college, PNW is going to be hosting Parent University, and this event is co-sponsored along with our partners with the Indiana Commission for Higher Education and Purdue University Fort Wayne, and it is a free event that will provide parents and guardians with all the information they need to be able to support their children's path to higher education. And if you want to go ahead and register, you can visit pnw.edu/parent-university. And I will just give a heads up as well. We are going to have two of our great friends from our admissions team that are going to be joining us to talk more about Parent University and a number of our other preview admissions events that are coming up in the second segment here. So be sure to stick around for that to learn more on all the details there. And if you are interested in previewing the PNW campus spaces and again learning more about how to apply for college and how to pay for college and to learn more about the wonderful opportunities that are available at Purdue University Northwest, if you visit pnw.edu/preview, there's a number of upcoming dates in April that you can go ahead and look at if you want to go ahead and register and schedule a visit with us to see how you can go ahead and power onward. And I love to be able to go ahead and shout this out. PNW has a specialty group recognition license plate that is available through the Indiana BMV. So if you want to learn more about that, go to pnw.edu/license-plate. And if you go ahead and acquire one of those, it's great because you're able to go ahead and cruise around with Spirit for Purdue University Northwest. And better yet, $25 of your purchase goes directly to contributing to student scholarships. Again, pnw.edu/license-plate. We were just talking a little bit about athletics, of course, before we began the show. Let me just go ahead and give a quick shout out. Congratulations to our ACHA Division I men's ice hockey team, who has qualified for their third straight national tournament appearance, and they are going to open up that chapter of their postseason against Missouri State on March 12th in St. Louis. So congratulations and good luck to our D1 men's ice hockey team. I will also mention here, because April is, of course, going to be here before we know it, but mark your calendars, PNW Day of Giving is coming up on April 29th, and that is one of our events that we look forward to in the spring, where for 24 hours, we highly encourage anyone, if you have been impacted by Purdue University Northwest, if you're an alum, if you love all the impact that the university provides for our local communities, consider making a gift to Purdue University Northwest in support of our students. Visit pnw.edu/giving to learn more information about Day of Giving, as well as some of the other ways that you can support PNW students. And make sure that you have your notes ready here. It's the Best of the Region ballot, which is facilitated by the Times of Northwest Indiana. That is live, and you can go ahead and vote for PNW as Best College University. And it's very easy to do so. So like I said, have your notes ready. Text code 886 to phone number 219-697-6667. And you can vote that code once per day from any digital device, and you can help vote for PNW as Best College University. Again, that's code 886 to 219-697-6667. Both of you better remember that, too. I'm going to be holding you to that. All right, those were all the quick things that I just wanted to go ahead and shout out. Just to review, we are talking about student research opportunities and days of discovery at Purdue University Northwest. So, to go ahead and start out our conversation, Dr. Zimmer, I'm going to go ahead and tee you up here.
Sure.
Days of Discovery is one of our annual spring semester events that we have on campus. So go ahead and give us an overview on what the program is.
Sure. So as you've suggested, this is an annual event that we host at PNW, and I consider this like a celebration of scholarship. So it's an opportunity for faculty and students to share with the entire campus community what they're working on, by themselves or along with students. So our agenda for the day involves a series of poster sessions. So here, again, faculty and students will be presenting their work. Visitors come through, find something interesting, get a chance to hear from the individuals that are doing that research. It's very much student-driven, actually. A lot of undergraduates and graduate students presenting. In addition, we have a few other events going on that day. We've paired with another committee on campus, the One Book, One University Committee. And this year, our keynote speaker is the author of Why Fish Don't Exist. So this is Lulu Miller, and she'll be giving a lecture at 2 p.m. that day. There'll be an opportunity to meet with her afterward. And then finally, one of the new initiatives that we're really excited about, we're going to host a group of investigators and researchers that are engaged in and interested in pursuing quantum and quantum-related research, with a particular emphasis on quantum computing. So this will be taking place in the afternoon, kind of concurrently with one of our poster sessions. And it's a big opportunity for Purdue Northwest. We've invited members from industry, local universities, University of Illinois Chicago, University of Chicago, IIT. So this will be a great opportunity for cross-pollination for our students and faculty to kind of see what's going on at the cutting edge of this line of research. And in addition, for those individuals attending to kind of see what's going on here at PNW.
Excellent. And because I always love to be able to shout out website URLs, pnw.edu/discover is where people can go ahead and find more information. Now, we're about a month or a little bit more than that still out from the event, but there is going to be more information once final registrations are, of course, published, and then there will be a listing of some of the different research initiatives that our students have been working on. And as a follow-up question to that, so asking for your perspective as a faculty member. So our students come to us at PNW. Obviously, they are involved in their coursework. They will have extracurricular opportunities that they might do with student organizations. So how is it that a student gets involved in doing research and deciding, okay, with the time that I have available to me, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate some time to working on this as well?
Sure. So the good thing about this is that there's lots of ways for students to get involved. When students come to me, one of the things that I encourage them to do is to go to faculty, right? Like that is one of the advantages of being at our campus is that we're accessible. Stop by office hours, stop by whenever, and ask questions. You know, what are you working on? It's either going to sound interesting or it won't, right? So you know pretty quickly if it's something you want to pursue. And if it sounds interesting, obviously you just start to ask, are you taking students? Would it be possible for me to get involved? The process is very informal. So that's where I typically encourage students to start. Go straight to the faculty mentor.
Excellent. So we obviously have one of our standout students here to be able to talk about their research and how they got involved with that during their journey at PNW. So again, Kate Kilmer, an electrical engineering major at Purdue University Northwest in her senior year, and also, I hear tell, an honors college student as well. So we got to go ahead and shout out our friends in the honors college.
Of course.
So go ahead and tell us a little bit about how you came to Purdue University Northwest and how you became interested in electrical engineering.
Yeah, so it was quite the journey because I initially was studying pre-veterinary medicine and I was finding I didn't really enjoy that future career path. So I was working a few different jobs, ended up as a calibration technician at one point, and I started to realize I really enjoyed learning about the different electrical systems and devices I was working with. I was thinking to myself, I could be an electrical engineer. So I started looking at different universities in the area, and I was seeing there was this Preview PNW event popping up soon. So I went to Preview PNW. I really enjoyed what I was seeing of campus, and there was these research poster presentations during one of the segments of PNW, the Preview. So I really enjoyed what I saw. There was especially this machine fault detection research poster. And kind of from what I was seeing, I ended up applying that very same day, got accepted, and I'm now at PNW.
And
So,
the rest is history, right? Oh,
yeah.
sorry, Dr. Zimmer, were you going to
No.
jump in?
I think what kind of struck me there is that you had a particular game plan, but that through your experience found something else that you enjoy, and I think that's also part of the value of engaging in undergraduate research. Like, you don't know if you like something until you try it.
It is, yes. And it's definitely kind of first week of classes, I started talking with the faculty at the university. I ended up talking with the faculty advisor for that machine fault detection research I really enjoyed at the poster presentation. And kind of from there, I got talking with the faculty advisor, Dr. Lee Z. Tan, and he saw that I was very interested and got me involved in the research right away.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about that experience and what that's like, balancing your time and investing the energy to do these research on it. So you have 3 different conference publications that you have been able to accomplish. So tell us a little bit about that and how you've worked together with Dr. Tan on those.
So it's definitely interesting balancing my schedule as an engineer, honors college student, and also with my various student organization opportunities. So it's definitely, I have to make certain I dedicate the time to the research, and I've been finding that very enjoyable as well because I am learning a lot more outside of the class through my involvement in the research, and kind of making certain I set aside the time in the day to do it has allowed me to work on those different conference publications and then go and present and publish them.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about what the process has been in publishing those and getting to present.
So with that process, it's kind of you start looking at the different conferences in the area or around the world, and you see which ones have deadlines coming up. I mean, first off, you have to have the research to the point that you're ready for a paper publication, that you've hit kind of a milestone, you've made some achievement. So with my conference publications, it's been that we've been able to work out a machine learning model for the research that's working well on the machine fault detection, or that we got the kind of the real-time machine fault detection working in a lab environment. So then we're going and we're putting that together in a paper, going and applying to a conference, doing any revisions necessary, and then if we get accepted, then we go present it, and it gets published as part of the conference proceedings.
Excellent. So how do you feel that in your senior year you have 3 conference publications to list it under your accomplishments here?
So I feel pretty good about that because it's definitely it's a very unique opportunity, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without my faculty mentor, Dr. Lizzie Tan. I wouldn't have been able to do it without working with the grad students I have, Kavana Harish and Chadana Satish. So it's definitely been a very good learning opportunity.
Excellent. And we're both, of course, very thrilled for you that you've been able to accomplish these different publications during your time as an undergraduate student. Just to echo a point and use this as a follow-up question, Dr. Zimmer, earlier in our conversation, you were saying that students should absolutely go ahead and take advantage of the time that they can with the faculty members, and that could be in office hours, that could be beyond that. We pride ourselves a lot on the relationships that students can build together with faculty and staff members at the university.
Absolutely, and I'm really happy to hear that Kate's had a good experience with her faculty mentor.
Yeah. So When you work with and mentor students, can you tell us a little bit about what that looks like?
Sure. So, in terms of, oftentimes we as faculty are approached by students. And so again, I know this works. And again, if we feel that we have, time to devote and dedicate, then we're willing to take students on. And I'm speaking primarily from my experience with working with students within the Department of Biological Sciences. And I know that, we meet regularly with our students. So we'll read papers like new recent publications that relate to our particular field of interest and things that we're working on so that students can learn. Right, you can learn from the textbook, but you don't really get what's going on right now in the field. And so you need to go to the literature for that. So we'll read papers weekly or every other week. Depending on the number of people that we're mentoring, you might have a weekly lab meeting where people can kind of go around and share a little bit about the progress that they've made or maybe what troubles that they're having and get some other ideas, kind of troubleshoot through some problems that people are working with, or simply learn about what else is going on in the lab.
Excellent.
And then, I suppose when asked, we have an opportunity to offer career advice and things like that in terms of, where students might, what they might consider looking into depending on their interests.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, from your faculty member perspective, so whether a student wants to continue their academic journey and pursue graduate school, or they're saying, okay, I'm going to be ready to enter a professional workplace role, what is the benefit that you see for students participating in research and how that is going to pay dividends for them, whichever those paths that they choose?
Sure, a couple of things. So first, it's a very different way of learning, right? So I think a lot of what we're doing in class has a tendency to be kind of very passive. You're learning foundational work. When you're engaged in undergraduate research, you're going for new knowledge, right? You're solving problems, and it's an active process. In addition, I think Kate referred to this earlier. You're building skills that are going to be important for you to be successful later on. Time management, for example, and things like that. Working with others. You mentioned you're working with a group. These are those soft skills that are going to help you be successful later on in life.
Absolutely. And before we dive into the big question about careers, did want to just circle back. Tell us a little bit about what is machine fault learning? Or no, you know what? I'm mixing up
You're
the words
all
there.
good.
Go ahead and correct me.
So there's a lot of words. So my research is in the machine fault detection, and in this case, we're using the machine learning algorithms to help us pick up on kind of the vibration signal differences that arise when a fault condition starts to form. So the goal of it is we want to catch fault conditions or defects before it leads to machine failure. In this case, we use machine learning algorithms, which is a form of AI. The machine learning algorithms models, we will have data that is kind of labeled with the different fault conditions or normal conditions, and we'll feed that to the machine learning model to train it up on what the fault condition is or how to detect it. And then we can then give it data that isn't labeled, and after it's been trained, and it will start to catch, okay, this vibration is due to a fault condition. This vibration signal is actually a normal condition. Everything's good with the machine. So that's kind of where we can start getting into the potential for real-time detection by feeding it through a machine learning model.
Well, that sounds really cool, right?
Actually,
Yeah.
And so we were talking in the studio or outside the studio a little bit before. So you're looking at December of this year is when you're going to be finishing up your undergrad.
Yes.
So what are you looking at for your next career steps?
Yeah. So currently I'm kind of looking at the potential of getting involved in like controls and instrumentation out in like a manufacturing plant, or there's a lot of job opportunities because there's a lot of different potentials for not just the research I'm working on, but also the skills I've learned from the research are applicable in a lot of different engineering fields.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there was a prospective student or even somebody who was just starting their journey at Purdue University Northwest, what would you say to encourage them to consider getting involved in research opportunities or extracurricular opportunities that augment what they're doing in the classroom?
Okay. Well, it's definitely, I would kind of recommend that they look at kind of what their favorite classes are. And oftentimes there's at least one, and there's going to be research on the latest in that field. So it's definitely to kind of be open to also reaching out to the faculty. And it's a very great experience too, because a lot of employers really enjoy seeing that you got involved outside of the classroom, that you got kind of that research experience especially is very valuable.
Absolutely. We should also make mention about undergraduate research grants. So whichever of you would like to go ahead and start expanding on that.
Sure. So this, we offer grants that students can apply for, a number of different mechanisms to help support and fund their research endeavors. So as Kate mentioned, in addition to providing funds for conducting the research, we also offer grants that support, help offset costs associated with travel to present at local conferences.
Yeah, and that's definitely, some of these conferences that I have gone and published papers at, it wasn't possible without the use of the conference presentation grants that we were able to receive. So thank you very much for that again.
Happy to help. We're really glad you're able to get to that point. Not everyone does, so it's great.
And so, because I love to be able to shout out website URLs, pnw.edu/research is a really great place to go ahead and look if anyone wants to get started to learn about some of the different resources that might be available there. So, Dr. Zimmer, can you share a little bit about what one can find by visiting there?
That's exactly right. Quite a bit of information. So with our undergraduate research program, again, you'll find links to the various types of opportunities that we offer. We realize, for example, that some lines of research don't necessarily require funds in order to support students. So we have like a stipend and engagement award we offer. In addition to those types of opportunities, you'll find information about our Days of Discovery, our upcoming Days of Discovery event, which I'll highlight is Thursday, April 16th. You can find our program there. For those that are registering to participate, you'll find information about putting your poster together. Got some workshops we'll be putting on next week about best practices making a poster in preparation for registration. So plenty of resources there.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's really great. And so, like we were saying before, the time on the PNW Today program, it goes by very quickly. But we've had a really great conversation here to be able to talk about the opportunities that are available for our students to be able to get involved beyond the classroom, get involved with research, applied research, and augment what it is that they are learning in the classroom to enhance both their knowledge and their future career opportunities. So, any closing thoughts as we wrap up this segment?
So I would definitely say be open to kind of getting involved in research, find an area of research that interests you, and be willing to go out and do it. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, and if students are interested, please don't be afraid to just reach out. Just stop by a faculty member. We're people too, and happy to talk about. People love talking about what they do. So yeah, don't be intimidated. Just knock on the door, get that conversation going. It works.
Exactly. Our faculty members are here to be able to help with the students in multiple ways, and both of you, with your comments, have been able to highlight how that is made possible at PNW. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick guest switch here. We're going to have a couple of our friends from our admissions team, Julie Weechak and Raven Chant, that are going to come talk to us about Preview PNW and a bunch of the other different admissions events and resources that are coming up. So stick around. We'll be right back. Okay, and we are back. Again, it is March 5th, 2026. You're listening to the PNW Today program on WJOB, JED TV, and JED TV podcasts. Again, I'm Kale Woke. I serve as a media and communications specialist in the Office of Marketing and Communications. And for our second segment, we are going to be talking about a number of the different upcoming campus preview and admissions events that we have at Purdue University Northwest. There's a very interesting slate that we have that's going to be in the coming weeks. And to help perfectly explain all of these details, first, to my immediate left, Dr. Julie Wiejak, who is our Assistant Vice Chancellor for University Recruitment and K-12 Strategy. No stranger to the PNW Today program. Dr. Wiejak, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Of course. Happy to be here.
And we also have Raven Chant, who is our Assistant Director of Admissions for New Student Initiatives and Events. Raven, thank you very much for being here this morning.
Of course.
So if you had an opportunity to listen, and this is both for the cast and for the guests, we just had one of our students, Kate Kilmer, and she was talking about her research, and she mentioned, conveniently enough, that one of her first experiences of getting to learn about PNW was by attending a preview PNW event.
Oh.
And she said that she was one of those folks who said, I filled out my application on the day of, took advantage of that application fee waiver, and found out she was accepted on the day of, and the rest is history after that. And now she's, in her senior year, and she's going to be looking at graduating in December. So. And
That's
preview
probably
I have like
my
goosebumps.
very first preview.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that she shared that, and that was like her first experience.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And she was very thankful about it, and she said, if only it could have been just a little bit longer. There was more that I wanted to be able to see. But I know that your team packs a lot into preview PNW. So again, we're going to go ahead and dive into the details of what we have in store for preview PNW. But one of the events that I did shout out in the earlier segment was Parent University. That's going to be coming up this weekend. So let's talk about that first. What is on deck for Parent University this Saturday?
So Parent University is like your parents of any, like I would say 9th through 12th graders.
Yeah.
It's if you were in 8th grade, it'd be appropriate for you too if your parents really wanted to like get ahead. But it's like helping parents learn how to college. So if you are a first generation parent or you didn't attend college or your kids are first generation, you might not even know where to go to ask the questions of like, what should we be doing right now? Like, what is a FAFSA? Like all these things that just feel really confusing about the college process. So we decided to host an event last year in conjunction with Fort Wayne and the Commission, Indiana Commission for Higher Education, and bring parents to campus and let them ask all of their questions. We do a panel of like our parents. They can bring their students with, and there's like a student track. So it's just like a how to college for parents. And you don't have to be interested in PNW. You could be just starting your journey. You can be at any stage in the process where you just feel like you need help and you don't know where to get it. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
I think that the point of it, you don't have to be interested in coming to PNW necessarily. I think we all very much share the passion of like college here, college anywhere should be accessible to everybody. Mm-hmm. And so having Parent University is really cool. We also have some different university partners. So Ivy Tech, IUN, Valpo are all going to be in attendance too to talk about their admissions processes, what that looks like. So it's really a good stepping stone for families to get into the college search.
21st Century Scholar, there's 2 labs after the event. So if you want to stay for either a FAFSA lab or a 21st Century Scholars lab, which means that's a program that Indiana has for their students that you enroll in 7th and 8th grade, do a number of things 9th through 12th grade, and then you've got your tuition paid for at a state school in Indiana. So it's a great initiative, and having a lab for parents to get help for how to make sure their students' ducks are in a row for that is really, really imperative too. So they don't miss out on any of those opportunities.
Absolutely, yes. And thank you both for the great comments to be able to share what Parent University is all about. Again, just shouting it because I love website URLs, pnw.edu/parent-university.
Yep.
That's the place to go to find out more information as well as to register. We'd be happy to have folks join us for this Saturday.
Yeah, I think the registration's still open, and then we would also take a walk-in. So if they just found out about it and they don't sign up, they're welcome to just come on Saturday morning.
Saturday at 8:30.
Excellent. And this will also serve as one of our good talking points here. We're talking about FAFSA. Can you just give a little bit of rundown of what FAFSA is and why it's important for parents, guardians, and students to take a look at that?
Yeah. It's basically how to figure out if you are going to be eligible for financial aid or eligible for a lot of other scholarships. So some scholarships that have nothing to do with the FAFSA also require you to have a FAFSA on file. So Indiana now requires all their seniors to fill out the FAFSA. It used to be a really, I think, intimidating, like crazy document with like all these questions. They did a rollout 2 years ago where they really pared it down and narrowed it to just less questions. It's attached to now, I think, where if you just like click this button, your tax information goes in, where you used to have to like get all your tax documents ready as a parent and have them all ready to be uploaded. So they really have streamlined it, made it easier for families. There's steps you can do ahead of time, like get your parent ID or your student ID that are like things you can do to get ready for when you actually file your FAFSA. And we have a number of things, the events that we host. You guys just did a FAFSA event on campus.
Workshop on campus.
So we do things like that all the time, or we have financial aid folks who can help with that. So I think money is one of the most intimidating parts of figuring out the college search. And so PNW really prides itself on having an amazing financial aid team that works really closely with our team. And I would say that there's no admissions event we host where we're not partnering with financial aid and asking them to be there and help kind of demystify how intimidating this process can feel when it comes to that document and getting it filled out.
Exactly, and I'll echo your point there that yes, there are some great support folks and resources that are there to be able to help prospective students and their families understand how attainable that a PNW college experience can be. To borrow the words of our great friend and colleague Tanika House, show me the money, right?
Exactly.
So again, thank you for sharing information about Parent University that's coming up again Saturday, March 7th. And coming up in April, we've got a number of Preview PNW events that are going to be hosted at PNW. So just shouting out a few quick dates. April 8th, there's going to be a Preview PNW spotlight for our School of Education and Counseling. That's one of our units in the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences. April 23rd, Preview PNW, the Westville Experience, and also Preview PNW at our Hammond campus, April 25th. And just to shout out another website URL, pnw.edu/preview. If you go there, that has a listing of all three of those events if you're interested in finding out more. But let's go ahead and dive into the details. So what is Preview PNW and what will prospective students and families learn when they make a visit?
Yeah, so to put it simply, I mean, Preview PNW is our open house. It's your opportunity to get a snippet of everything that we offer in one day's time. Once we get into the more specific details, obviously the School of Education and Counseling one is specifically for students interested in School of Ed. The Westville Experience is for students that are interested in attending our Westville campus. But during the day, you'll get to see some different classrooms, meet some different faculty. You'll get to see kind of what the student experience is at Purdue Northwest.
Got it.
And we used to just host general, like the preview is one in fall, one in spring, and those were just general open houses. And Raven and her team worked with a lot of the colleges this year to host college-specific open houses, and we thought we would just pull them under the preview brand. So anytime a student or their family sees the word preview, PNW, it means you can come and see this thing showcased for you. So she just hosted a education or engineering and sciences open house that had over 100 students come with their families. They spent the entire day. Almost every faculty member from engineering and sciences attended and was there. And I think all of those families got an amazing, peek into what it would be like for their student to be in that college. And so we're kind of taking preview and going from this general open house where you can come and see everything that goes on at PNW and get this bigger vibe. But then we're also adding on all these little more intimate previews where if I'm interested in becoming a teacher, my mom and I or my parents and I or my guardians and I can just come to this event and really dig in with the School of Ed and figure out what it would be like to be an education student at PNW. So we're really excited about those. Raven's got some other cool we're playing around a little bit with like visits and tours being very specific. So I don't know if you want to talk about some of
Yeah, we
those.
also just did a College of Engineering and Sciences tour. So students got to come in similar to the open house, but on a smaller scale. They got to meet with some of the advisors and talk about the classes that they would be in as a student. And then they got to go on a really good tour of all of our labs. And so a tour that we were thinking would take about an hour and a half ended up taking about 45 minutes longer because the students were so engaged with the faculty. They were asking questions. They were putting on the virtual reality headsets. They were looking at all of our cool things that are in the design studio. So really engaging time for the students that are interested in Purdue Northwest to kind of explore it a little bit more.
Yeah, and all of that sounds really great because when you come to a Preview PNW event, you're not just going to be sitting in a lecture hall
No.
for 3+ hours. You're not just going to be getting talked to about, these very important details, of course, the logistics of applying for and paying for college. You're going to be able to have some very meaningful experiences of getting to tour around our campus facilities and getting to meet, obviously, the wonderful folks from our admissions team and our Office of Financial Aid, but also some of the faculty and staff members and students who are also on the ground that are involved in these lab spaces. So in your experiences, you've been guiding family members in understanding PNW through these events. What are some of the feedback and reactions that you see when they get to have these tangible experiences?
I think it's really exciting. Yesterday, even, we just had a group of about 300 eighth grade students from Highland come onto campus, and part of their experience was to go on a tour and visit these labs. And I went to Highland, so I have a lot of Highland parents on my Facebook, and seeing some of them post about the experience and how cool it was. And I mean, students that are like, this is my first college visit, or even Kristen earlier, who was like, I went to a preview and, this is what made me decide to come here. We interview students to be campus ambassadors, and they're like, well, I remember from, I went on a tour here and Danny was my tour guide and he was so great. I just knew like this is where I wanted to be. And so, I mean, I think that is like what really makes the job so special. Makes it less of a job.
I love when like a legacy family comes where like a parent's like, I went here, and they're showing their kid around, and then they're like, where did this come from? When did this happen? This building's brand new. Like, I've been with folks who walk into Nils and are like, SUL looks really different. And you're like, no, this is a whole new building. We just put it in front of this building, So I think it's cool when the legacy families come and the parents proudly say that they were a Purdue Cal or a Purdue North Central graduate, and they want to tell you that, and then they want to kind of show their student around. I think that's a really cool experience that we get to have at open houses. And
one of the teachers yesterday was like, oh, it looks so different than when I was a student, and I can't wait till you guys are students here and can see how different it looks then. So
yeah,
I think
like
that's
main
so
zone
cool.
blows
Yeah.
people away. They go in there, and if they're used to like old CLO and then they see main zone, they're like, oh my, this is so awesome. Like, it's just incredible to show them that. I love that, and I love a student becoming like completely comfortable and content with their experience. I think we have a lot of students who come unsure just because it's scary to pick where you want to go to college, and it's intimidating, and it's got all these things happening with it. And then I think they leave a preview event where they're just so excited to come to PNW, and you can like feel it when you talk to them. Like, that's, like Raven said, that makes the job all worth it, because that's just a really cool experience.
There's always like the families at the end of the day that kind of linger with the questions, and afterwards they're like, no, we're so confident now. This is so great. Like, we're really happy to be here. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, we love that for sure.
Absolutely. And we were also talking a little bit about student ambassadors. So can you tell us a little bit about that program and how they help augment the Preview PNW, or really the admissions experience as a whole?
Yeah, so I think tale as old as time. Students don't like to listen to adults, and I like to pretend I'm young, but I'm not anymore. I am, in fact, one of the adults in the room. And so the campus ambassadors really do such a good job of being that like peer-to-peer bridge for incoming students. Whether that's they are the ones giving the tour, they're the ones working all the events. If you come to preview, there's a whole panel of just students answering student questions. And the questions get a little crazy sometimes, a little silly, a little wild, but then there's also the serious ones of like, how am I going to make friends on campus? Like, what organizations are fun? What do you know about intramural sports? And so the ambassadors are really great. They represent all different colleges, all different programs, all different student organizations and campus events and activities and RAs and athletes. And they get to just genuinely and honestly talk about their experience and what is their favorite food in the cafeteria, where do they like to study. And so it's really cool to see them make those connections as well. And then they'll see the students back on campus later and be like, oh, that kid was in my orientation group, or I got to give that kid a tour. That's the guy that I took all the way over to the hospitality building on preview. And so it really sticks with them as well. So I think it's cool to have them make an impact with the students and see the pride they get from that.
I love too that we get to help them with like different experiences. Like we've had ambassadors who were like nervous to talk, who became like rock star tour guides by the time that they were done. So although they work for us and that's what we get out of them being on our staff, is that they make these impacts on our admissions process and every event we host. But I love that we get to also like impact their life and help them. They answer all the telephone calls, which like kids don't talk on the phone these days. So like they get to very interestingly learn customer service and like tour guide skills and like answering all these questions and just being able to convey their experience, not through a text message or to, just a Snapchat. They get to actually like stand in front of adults and students and like express themselves. So I love that we're also helping them learn like skills that I think they're going to use when they start their job search and go on interviews and do all these other amazing things. They're going to have so much confidence in their future experiences because they built that when they were on the ambassador team. So they're all so impressive.
They're so impressive. They're so friendly. They're all such a good team together. I think it's cool to see students that probably wouldn't cross paths otherwise become really close friends.
Yeah, and we like have such a diverse group, and there's like, if you come to an event where all the ambassadors are there, you're going to meet someone that you connect with. You're going to meet someone that inspires you. You're going to meet probably multiple people who you're like, oh, I see my things that are important to me in this person, and they go here and they love it. Or this person has my major, and they just described how fulfilled and awesome they feel about the major choice that they had. So I think they just offer so much to the experience, and I think they're really impressive to parents too. Their parents, like the parents who come on tours and events and visits, can see like, oh, this might be like my kid at the end of 4 years, like so mature and polished and like just they're great kids. So I think they also let parents like feel a little less nervous. Like, I'm going to let my kid go to college and this is how they're going to end up, like an amazing, impressive person.
It's so cool too when I like meet a student and they're like, oh, I'm interested in this. I don't know. And I'll be like, oh, let me go introduce you to this person who you're interested in finance and accounting. Let me show you Mary, who was president of finance and accounting and graduated and now is a graduate assistant and all of these cool things that she's got to accomplish because of being in the College of Business. So, I mean,
we love that.
Those connections are really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with all that great information, I mean, really, if there's anybody that's listening and you want to get a piece of this stuff, pnw.edu/preview, that's where to go ahead and find out more information about those upcoming events and to register. We would love to have you come out and attend. Just one other quick question about preview. As we were mentioning a little bit earlier, we had our previous student guest, Kate Kilmer, who said that she was able to complete her application day of and have the fee waived and find out an admissions decision. Just tell us a little bit about that too.
Yeah, that's available at this preview. So the Westville, are you doing apps at the College of the Education one too?
Yeah.
I'm sure we could take them at all preview. Yeah, the fee is always waived. The admission staff is always there, so they'll walk through the application with you, and they'll be able to give you a decision that day. So if that is an experience that you're looking for, we can have you sit with an admissions counselor. We even added an admissions presentation to this preview where they're going to actually talk about like the meat and potatoes of applications and how to fill them out and all the things that go into them. And then you can just proceed to a lab with one of the admission specialists and they can help you do yours, fill it out, and get you all set to sail. So, yep, that is something that we are offering always at preview.
And I know we're talking a lot about the admissions process, but even for students that have already applied and are already accepted into the university, preview is a great opportunity for them to come and really just determine that this is the right fit for them. So if you've applied, you've gone through the process, and you're just still kind of on the fence of what your next step is, come hang out for the day.
Yep. Yeah. Our previews, the spring preview ends up a little bit like an admitted student day where you could also be admitted, like Raven said already, but still a little like, what do I do next? Like, what happens? Like, how do I go from here? And you don't just want to like read the emails and like look at the communications. You'd rather just speak to someone. There's a lot of people who get a great amount of comfort and confidence from just being able to come and be like, am I good right now? Like, should I be doing anything else? And the spring preview is a great way for families of admitted students or accepted students to come and just be like, all right, I feel better now. I spoke to someone in person. We've got everything done we need done, and we're not going to like miss any deadlines or we should be doing something. We don't know we should be doing it. So we're also like really able to offer parents and families and students a lot of confidence at this preview as well. We're also doing a different thing this year in conjunction with first year advising, where you can come if you're unsure about the major you've chosen and get more information about other majors, or maybe you're applied to one major, but you're interested in this kind of major adjacent and you're like, I'm not sure which one I should do. You can come and speak to our staff, tell them what you want to do for a career, and they'll make sure that you have the right major lined up for your journey. We have a lot of students who get very unsure about their major and then flip-flop and change it and go back. And I think they're just really worried that it's a huge commitment to one specific degree, and if it's the wrong choice, then they might not get the job that they've always dreamed of. So we're offering a lot of like career counseling and like major counseling at this preview as well.
Got it.
Which is brand new for this cycle, and we've never done this before, so this should be really cool too.
It sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Julie, you help bring up a good point here about, there could be different stages for where prospective students can be in their exploration of what they want to do with their college journeys. So what can you share about what, let's say, a middle school student could be or should be thinking about at a certain point in time, and what might different levels of high school students be considering as they're getting ready for college?
Sure. I would say like a senior in high school should definitely be obviously actively engaged in an application process with different universities. Our application is open all the way through summer. We don't close it or have any like strict deadlines. We want to make sure, like Raven said, that we're accessible to students who might still be in a figuring out stage of their journey. So you can fill out applications and kind of get yourself all settled when you're a senior. A lot of the prep work for that is done ahead of time. So 9th, 10th, and 11th graders should start to think about what they want to do when they get older as a career. They should start figuring out whether or not they have the right classes, that their guidance counselor and them have conversations about what they want to pursue. Do they have the right math classes to pursue this major? Like, there's just a lot of conversations with parents, guidance counselors, teachers, and that freshman through junior year is really where you're like setting yourself up for success when you start applying as a senior. 7th and 8th grader or middle schools, it's kind of the fun time to be very like, what do I want to be when I grow up? Like, I would say middle schools, we love them like kind of dreaming and getting excited and creating a path that they see for themselves that feels attainable. I think like that's a really cool thing to do in middle school is I want to be a doctor. We'll start having conversations about what that looks like. If you say that from the time you're little, you can like manifest it for yourself. So I think when we talk to our middle schoolers or have like 300 Highland 8th graders, we want them to just be like running around. I think when we have like middle schoolers leave, they're always like, I want to be that when I grow up, or like they're in the nursing lab getting blown away by like these computer controlled like, figures. And they're like, oh my God, this would be the coolest thing to study. And so I just like middle school, I like when we like blow their mind and get them really excited about like being something when they grow up, because it could be the thing that gets them to focus on doing better in reading or doing better in math or paying more attention in school because they have this like vision for themselves that feels attainable. So a lot of dream creating in the middle school space.
Absolutely.
Getting kids excited.
And like we said before, pnw.edu/preview. That's where you can go ahead and find information about the upcoming preview events, but also pnw.edu/admissions. That's also a nice, good umbrella for a number of the different resources and opportunities that both of you have been able to share in our conversation. We have just a few minutes before we have to close out our segment, because time flies so fast on the PNW Today program. Earlier this week, we were talking about a graduate program showcase, graduate program showcase that is going to be coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that too?
That's next Thursday. It starts at 6:30 to 8. So we are now doing a little recruiting in the graduate space. So making sure that our master's programs and doctoral programs are being showcased as well. So we have an admissions specialist starting who's going to focus just on helping Northwest Indiana and Chicago and even farther away know about our master's and doctoral programs and make sure that the community is informed about how we can help them possibly move their careers along. So just partnering with industry, and this is just started, so it's brand new. We did an in-person showcase that over 200 students signed up for, and this is the first virtual one that we're offering. And we try to do it early AM, so in case you're a working professional, you still can access this and make sure that you get the information you're looking for. So a lot of non-traditional recruiting paths we'll be pursuing with this, like showcases at night or things in the early AM, so that folks who already have bachelor's degrees can still come and learn about what PNW has to offer in the way of certificates, master's, doctoral programs, like all things where you can take your career to the next level. So that's next Thursday, March 12th at 6:30 a.m. and the sign up is on the website as well.
Excellent. Thank you for being able to share that.
Yeah.
And we just got a couple quick more minutes. So just to tee it up that we have these admissions and preview events that are coming up, but we are always happy to be able to accommodate a visit if anyone wants to be able to schedule one at a different time. So just tell us quickly about how that works.
Yeah, we do visits just about every day of the week, including Saturdays. We typically do 1 to 2 Saturday visits a month for those families that might have different activities, don't want to leave school, are working full time. And same thing, you get to come, you get to see PNW, learn a little bit about the admissions process, see our labs, see the classrooms, meet some faculty along the way. So it's a really good opportunity. Anytime a student is looking for a special tour, maybe they're interested in nursing or hospitality or biology, forensic science, we always try to partner with the staff and faculty of those departments as well so that they can get a little bit more insight on those.
Excellent. And again, pnw.edu/admissions. That's the best place that you can go ahead and go to look into, again, the upcoming preview events that we have, but also to learn about how you can schedule a visit.
Yeah.
Come pay us a visit sometime. We'd
would
love to be able to
love
have
that.
you.
Absolutely.
We would love that.
So a big thank you again to Dr. Julie Wijak and Raven Chant from our wonderful admissions team to help share some of the details on the events that we have coming up at Purdue University Northwest. We would love for any prospective students and families to, again, come out and visit us whenever you have a good opportunity. There's a lot of good things to see. So that's going to do it for the March 5th PNW Today program. Thank you very much for anyone that joined us, and we'll be looking forward to speaking with you and reconnecting with you in April. So until then, take care, and we'll see you next time.